Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Should we go get a fountain pop? Let's have a fountain pop. Oh, man. Oh, I wanted to bring out my new lip balm that I reviewed today in my review channel. A pineapple lip balm, and I forgot to do that. Oh, well. Are you guys getting used to being at home? It seems so weird, doesn't it? For like 2 days now, I literally like have not left the house. The one thing is, the one positive is Alex and I are starting to like kind of get used to our routine together, so that's good. It was kind of sad today, you know. We usually on Sundays go to have, cheers. We go to have our brunch on Sundays. Woo, the fizz from that Diet Coke. And, here's my lip gloss. And we got up today. One of the things that I'm noticing is that every day just kind of like goes into the next. It just doesn't even seem like I know what day it is most days. Here's my lip gloss. I wanted my lip gloss. It feels like I don't even know what day is anymore. You know, I know tomorrow is Monday. I'm not stupid, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, here it is. It feels like it's just a same day, man, said Janis Joplin. It just seems like the same day, in and out, in and out. And, I don't know. Today, I kind of made a decision that just for today, I wasn't gonna like read a bunch of articles and all that kind of stuff, and be on the news a lot. I think sometimes that makes it worse for me. You know, Alex was watching some of it, so I was like, is there anything that I need to know? And he was like, no, nothing new today. Not around here, at least. And I talked to Tanya, and she said the same thing. The first couple days, I think I was finding myself kind of consumed with like being online and like reading everything about it. And I don't know if that made things any better for me, you know? I mean, like, I'm keeping up with the know of what's going on and things like that, but as far as like being consumed and see what's trending and things like that, it's can be a little bit overwhelming for me. So anyway, we woke up today. Alex stood up. First of all, we're sleeping in super late, both of us, and he's going to bed early. Like, he went to bed tonight. Well, he stayed up a little bit later tonight. He stayed up till about 12:30. It's 2:30 right now. And I had laid down at like 10:45. And so, but I slept till probably, I don't know, like 1:30. My schedule is like always screwed up, but it feels like super screwed up right now. So I don't even know what time we got up, but we got up and Alex stood up and like, so, you know, his side of the bed, he can like look down and see like right in, you know, outside out of the top windows. And he was like, it's snowing. And I said, you're kidding me. He goes, no, it's snowing outside. So I like pulled back the blinds and I looked, and sure enough, it was snowing outside. It was like snowing and icing outside. It was real pretty, but it just makes me feel even more cooped up inside than I already feel. Because it's like I can't just like go and like, you know, even walk out into the yard with the dogs and stuff like that because it's so cold, and they didn't really want to go out, you know, for a long time anyway. So then we came downstairs and Alex was like, I started uploading my vlog and stuff. Well, I started doing it last night, but I didn't. I rendered my vlog last night, and then I finished Zombieland. I watched Zombieland. I finished the second Zombieland Double Tap. I liked those movies. They were okay. They weren't the best movies in the entire world. But like, I love zombie movies. And I needed a break from 13 Reasons Why. It was like, I kept on finding myself like not wanting to go and watch it, like wanting to watch something else. Like tonight, when I get, I mean, it's late already, but when I'm awake now, so when I'm done vlogging, I'm probably gonna go inside and like watch a movie or something. I don't know, I'm finding myself needing a break from 13 Reasons Why. Tanya, actually, I was just talking to her on the phone. Why she's up this late is beyond me, but we were talking, and she told me to watch, what did she say it's called? King Tiger on Netflix. She said, she just texted me as soon as we got off the phone. She said, watch King Tiger on Netflix. So, watch King Tiger on Netflix. So let's see, I don't know anything about what this King Tiger is about. We'll see. But I want to finish 13 Reasons Why. Let's see how many episodes I have left, first of all, of 13 Reasons Why. Oh, there it is right there. It came right up. Series. Tiger King. Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. Riveting, provocative, investigative. A zoo owner spirals out of control amid a cast of eccentric characters in this true murder-for-hire story from the underworld of big cat breeding. And it has 7 episodes. Maybe I'll start that tonight and see what I think of it. Let me see. 13 Reasons Why. I'm on episode 7. There are 13 episodes left. So I'm like halfway through episode 7, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes left. It's just real depressing. Just real sad. So, I don't know. And then I thought I might watch Empire Strikes Back, because, you know, I'd started getting into the Star Wars series, and then I never finished it. I've got time now. So we got up today. Anyway, I went to bed late last night. I finished those movies, and then that was it. And then I got up today. We went downstairs, and Alex was like, do you want to like make breakfast together or whatever? And I was like, yeah, what are you gonna make? And he was like, he's real into this like avocado toast thing now that he makes. It's real cute. He like he makes toast, and then he puts on like, he cooks in like a skillet, like eggs and chicken and some other stuff, and like rice, and everybody's having such a hard time finding rice. And I didn't even think about this. Tanya the other day was like, God, I just wish I had some white rice. And we have like 3 bags of it or 2 bags of it or something from when Pee-Pee could only eat like chicken and rice. Remember that? Alex bought a rice cooker and this like huge bag, these 2 huge bags of white rice. So we have these huge bags of white rice. So Alex made this stuff, and then he put it on like pieces of toast. And then I made coffee in the Keurig today. And then I made, the last time that I'd gone to the grocery store, when I went to Costco, I think it was the second to the last time, I had bought these, or was it when I went to the Meijer? I don't remember, but I bought these poppy seed muffins. I love lemon poppy seed muffins. And so I cut them, they're real small little ones, and I cut them in half, and I put raspberry jam on them, and or raspberry preserves or jelly or whatever. You know, one night I was talking about the difference between jam and jelly on here, and somebody told me what the difference was, and now I don't remember what it is. I guess I could Google it and look, but anyway, and then I made a coffee in the Keurig, and it really wasn't that good, and let me tell you why. Because instead of pushing the iced button, I just made regular coffee, so it would be more coffee, and I put it over ice, and then it melted all of the ice. Somebody in the comment section of my video, because I have to say, like, I really like the Keurig for hot coffee, and when I'm around the house, I tend to drink more hot coffee. Like, if I go to Starbucks, which I'm not doing right now, I get iced coffee. But if I'm at home, even though I wanted the Keurig that had the ice thing, I find myself tending to drink hot coffee, because I do like hot coffee, just as much as I like iced coffee, if not more. But when I go through Starbucks, it's just easier for me to get iced coffee. You guys want to hear how I actually started drinking the iced coffee? This is so stupid. Okay, so years and years and years ago, I mean, it has been a long time, right? I had read this article where Jessica Simpson lost a lot of weight, and I don't remember what I was getting at Starbucks at the time, but I was getting like a latte or something, and she said that she stopped drinking lattes and she went to iced coffee with like 1 sugar substitute, like an equal or what's the Sweet and Lows or whatever. The reason that she did that, somebody said that they saw my neighbor out of the corner of my whatever. I'm out so late, nobody is out in my neighborhood. If you saw a neighbor like walking by last night, that freaks me out. Okay, and I read that comment, because I've been reading all the comments on all my videos, which I typically do anyway, but like I've been like reading them, you know. So anyway, so I started drinking it because of that, and I just really enjoyed iced coffee. But I have to tell you, like, one of my favorite things in the entire world is like being in like a really hot environment, like Miami or like a Mexico or like on an island, and having like a muffin with really hot, strong, like bold coffee, like while it's really hot outside, like overlooking the beach. Like, that's one of my favorite things. And I actually wrote it into my book, which I am reading on my BookTube channel, Peter Likes Books. I'm reading my book over there, so you can go over there and you can hear me read my book. Yesterday, I read the preface in the first chapter. Today, I read the second and the third chapter. And even if only 50 people watch it, I think like that's 50 more people that are exposed to my book, is how I was thinking about it today. I was like, this is kind of cool. You know, this is a couple more people that will have heard the book that I wrote, you know? So, anyway, I wrote that, the poppy seed muffins and the jelly or the jam into my book, because that has always been like one of my favorite things. Then Alex made that, and then while I was uploading my YouTube video, I made that in my coffee, and the coffee was really bad. I don't know why. I don't know if I put too much creamer in it. I don't know what. But yesterday, I did use the iced button, and it was really good. And so many people in the comment section said it was because like when you push the ice button, it's more concentrated because it's like ice, but it's like a little bit cooler than if you made coffee. So I think I'm gonna do the ice thing tomorrow as well. But somebody in the comment section said that what they do is they make a pot of coffee and then they put it in the refrigerator and then they pour it out and they make iced coffee. And I thought that is such a great idea. Like, I'm gonna start doing that when we have a little bit more room in the refrigerator, because we have no room right now in the refrigerator. Alex has stocked our refrigerators with the Coke and the what do you call it? I was gonna say V8, but not V8. The Gatorade that he drinks, and then my Diet Coke. We have enough food right now for a while, which makes me feel really safe, but there's no room in the refrigerator, because I also bought this new water purifier thing, so between his and mine, and I have a thing of orange juice in there, there's just not any room right now. But I think that's a great idea with doing the coffee, so I'm gonna do that. So then we ate breakfast and we ate brunch, and then what did he do? Well, I sat around and just kind of like looked up stuff on my phone and whatever, and he was looking up Instagram and TikTok. He's been like on TikTok like 24 hours a day. And he didn't mention anything about wanting to clean today. I thought he would want to clean the garage today, but he didn't. That'll probably be tomorrow. But then I finally sat down and just started making videos like late in the day. And I did a drama video. Excuse me, and then I did a Peterisms video. Oh, I know what I did. I talked to my sponsor for a long time. I talked to Tanya for a little bit. And I feel like I talked to somebody else. I talked to another friend of mine. And then I started my videos. And I made a drama video. I made a Peterisms video. I did the BookTube video. And then I got those all done. And then I did the review video. That was like the last video that I did. And I did the skincare that I had bought from Rebel's Refinery, And I keep on seeing shadows, and it's like totally freaking me out. My door is locked and my car is on, so if I had to like bolt out of this driveway, I could in a heartbeat, but I don't know why it's freaking me out. Anyway, and you can go over to my review channel and see what I thought of the skincare. I just opened this stuff. I'm gonna actually use it in another video. But anyway, yeah, so that's what, we did that. And then Alex had something else to eat, like later, like early evening. Because he was upstairs. He was like laughing his butt off watching TikToks. So cute. And like the whole house was like quiet, and then all of a sudden he would just like bust out laughing. The dogs, like, they're not used to him being home, so they literally follow him everywhere. Boo and Tucker are so cute, especially Boo. Like, Boo is like, he is like totally hooked on Alex right now. Like, Boo Radley follows Alex everywhere that he goes. I actually took a picture tonight. This was so cute. Here, I'll show you. Well, here, I'll see if, I think Alex posted his breakfast that he made. No, he didn't post it. That surprises me. I thought he did. Okay, so we were watching, what were we watching on TV? Oh, Alex started watching Tales of the City by Armistead Maupin. It's like a new one, and I was like reading the history of how it was. I think there must have been like a made-for-TV movie of the original or something with Olympia Dukakis, because I remember she was in the original. But then when I looked online, it said that it was a TV series that got canceled like after 6 episodes or something, but she was in the original. And Alex is like, he watched like the whole season tonight. Like the entire season. So I sat there and watched 2 episodes with him. But Boo Radley, here, let me see where it is. Hold on a second. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this is so sweet. Can you see it? Look at that. There's my babies, and look at Boo Radley. He's like sleeping on Alex. Isn't that so sweet? They're so sweet. I love my little family. And then he stayed, and then I made mac and cheese. Because I was craving mac and cheese, so I made mac and cheese out of a box. I actually have some left in there that I'm gonna eat when I'm done with this and I go to watch a movie. I'm gonna eat some mac and cheese. The excitement of the day. And, I listened to a lot of my audiobook today. I don't want to pull it up because it'll start playing. Well, I kind of do want to know now. I think I have like less than 2 hours left of it. Yeah, I have less than 2 hours left. I have like 1 hour and 45 minutes. I'm listening to it at 1.75 speed. I can't listen to it any faster than that. It's too fast. And then when I'm done, I'm going to listen to The Handmaid's Tale, so I can start watching that on Hulu, because I want to start watching The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. Although Tanya said to me, she's like, I don't think that you should start watching it right now. It's interesting because like everybody that I talk to, like my close friends and my, family and stuff, they're like, you're really freaked out by everything, aren't you? Like me, like personally me. And I'm like, yeah, I really am. And they're like Tanya says it to me at least like every day. She'll be like, you're like really freaked out about stuff. And I'm like, and everybody that I know is staying at home. It's not like we're like acting any different than anybody else. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, this is a different world that we're living in right now. And I don't want to get sick, I'm really, I wouldn't say like I live my day scared, like full of fear. I don't feel that way. But I would definitely say like apprehensive. Like it feels like I'm waiting. And I'm sure that this is something that a lot of people relate to. It just feels like we're waiting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but we don't know for what. Like, waiting to find out how long the schools are going to be closed, waiting to find out, you know, if they're going to close more things down, waiting, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just feels like we're, like, waiting. And then I hear everybody say, like, it's, like, we're in it for the long haul, and I think, in all reality, like, in Indiana, like, if you think about this, just earlier this week, I was driving around. So, like, it hasn't even been in a whole week. I mean, it's been just a matter of a couple days where, like, it's been like this. Like, I really can't imagine, I really can't imagine, like, being like this, like, for 3 months or 6 months. And, you know, I'm somebody that works at home, from home. Like, I don't go out a whole lot. Like, I don't go do a lot of things. And so you would think that anybody that would be prepared for this, it would be like somebody like me, you know? Like, and I know friends, like, I have a lot of friends of mine that we work from home, and, you know, we kind of get up and we don't really do a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like, we just kind of work from home. We don't go out and do a whole lot. And so I don't know, like, why it is, I definitely don't feel, like, panicked. I don't feel like that. But then I think the other thing that's weird, too, is it's like I look outside and it's like the world, like, when I look, like, you know, because it feels, but on a much grander scale, like, huge scale, right? But the feeling is similar to, like, if we're getting, like, a blizzard. Like, you can't go out, you can't drive, you can't go anywhere, places are closing down, schools are closing down, right? But when you look outside, it looks the same as any other day. But it's not. You know what I mean? And I don't know that my mind has, like, I get it. Like, I understand it, but I don't know that, like, my mind has really wrapped itself around that yet. I'm really kind of, like, hoping that we don't get to a point where it's, like, just, you know, like, people are like, screw it. Like, we can't stay inside anymore. Like, that's, like, what I'm worried about. And, you know, like, every time I talk about this on my vlogs, I get at least 1 or 2 people that are like, I still have to work. Like, you know, I work for an essential business. I totally understand that, you know? And, like, I think that's where we can't make, like, blanket statements of things like stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. Like, for the people that, like, work in hospitals, like, they have to work, you know? For us, you know? And, so I'm gonna read some comments here in a second, and there was a comment like that on there. But I don't know, I just guess I really haven't fully realized yet, I guess. I mean, it seems like to a lot of people, it's like there's, I think we're just kind of, like, as a society, still kind of, like, trying to, like, internalize what's going on. We haven't gotten there yet, you know? And I really think, well, I don't want to, yeah. I don't know. It's just going to be, you know, I guess more will be revealed, as I say. I talked to my sponsor for a long time today, and she really helped. She was talking to me about, so she's been doing, like, the online meetings, and so I was asking her, because I haven't, like, done one of these online meetings yet. I, like, looked into it, and I'm, like, very confused by the whole thing. So she was explaining to me how to do it, and whatever, and but I said, was it helpful? Because I guess she's done it twice now. And I said, was it helpful? And she said, well, yeah, it felt, oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. Okay. And she said it's a great resource. And she said, you know, it just feels like a meeting. There's people in there, you know, with early sobriety. There's people in there with long-term sobriety. There's just all kinds, you know. And she said that one of the meetings that she went to, they talked about hope. And so she and I started talking about hope, like, in the midst of all of that's going on. And we were talking about, like, you know, when, like, 12 Steps program started. This is where it's hard for me to be real ambiguous, but about which program and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we were talking about when 12-step program started, you know, we talk about, like, the first 100, and those were, like, the first 100 people that were sober. It wasn't like, you know, back then that there were 1 million people. It wasn't like that at all. So you might be, I mean, that's literally how these programs started, was one person talking to another. And so we were talking about, like, in reality, to stay sober, you don't need a meeting of 40 people. You know, you don't need all of that. Like, yes, that's nice. It's great that we've developed into that. But the reality is you only need one other alcoholic or addict that has gone through similar situations to talk to you about it, you know, and you guys can help each other. I think it helps if that person has had a little bit more sobriety, you know, but so we're talking about that. I definitely have really been, in the last couple days, leaning on my, you know, like, sober brothers and sisters and talking to them, and, like, really just like, hey, how are you doing? Like, so many of us are, like, talking back and forth, like, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm like, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And so it's nice because, like, the people that I would usually see, I'm still staying in contact with. And so it doesn't feel, like, disconnected. Like, I still feel connected, you know, to my people, which is nice. But I tell you, that's one thing I will, you know, never take for granted again, is the ability to sit in a meeting, in a room of other alcoholics and addicts and, you know, share experience, strength, and hope. I will never take that for granted again. And I was thinking about that today, you know, like, I talk a lot about my social anxiety. And one of the things, and I've talked about it on here before, but, like, one of the things that I don't talk a lot about, but I have a little bit, is my fear of going to meetings that I've never been to before by myself. Like, I don't really like it because I know people in recovery aren't judging me, but I still have that feeling of when I walk into a room of people that I don't know. When any meeting that I usually go to in Indianapolis, I usually know, like, one person there, at least. Just because Indianapolis is, it's not a huge place. It's small enough that there's overlap, and I go to enough meetings, you know? So, but I think, you know, when this is said and done, when we can go back out again, hopefully that we can, you know, that I don't know that I'll have that same fear. I think it'll almost be like such a sense of gratitude for being able to do that, and wanting to be with other people that are sober, that I think that's something that I really look forward to, is getting, you know, like, going to a lot of meetings, maybe again. Didn't realize how much I missed it until I can't do it, you know? And, so, but we talked a lot about hope, and we talked a lot about hope in times of adversity and tragedy, and, the power of hope, and the power of, you know, like, my belief in having a higher power, and she and I were talking about that, and the takeaway from it, and being kinder to people, and being more compassionate, and looking at somebody's situation from their point of view, not yours, you know, and that we're all in this together, but, like, everybody's situation is completely different, you know, and whatever. So it was I had a good talk with her today. That was really nice. I wanted to say something about, in talking about my OCD the other day, I got so many comments from you guys, and I got a couple direct messages from people talking to me about, like, they knew how scary that was, or for me to share that. You know, it's not scary for me to share it. I think partly because I feel so comfortable on my vlog talking to you guys, and it really just feels like sitting on here is talking to, like, one of my really good friends or my family members, and everybody in my life knows that. It's like my recovery. Everybody in my life knows that I have OCD. It's not something that, like, I hide from or whatever. I have found in my life, like, with the people in my life that I interact with on a daily basis, it's so much easier to just let everybody in. And that's just me. That's just how I am. I'm probably too much with that sometimes, but I think it helps people from understanding. You know, there were years that I didn't attend stuff, that I didn't go to things. And, you know, like, my friend Erin would have a Halloween party every year. And we wouldn't go. I actually remember talking about this in my vlog a couple years ago when this happened. Well, Alex would go, but I was always like really afraid to go because I didn't know. And it was a big party. She'd have like 40, 50 people there, right? And I'd always want to know like what time everybody was going to come and whatever. So this one year, Melissa was talking to me and she said, ooh, I just hit something. She said, you know, it really kind of hurt. And I had never said anything about like my social anxiety or whatever. And she said, you know, it kind of hurts Aaron's feelings that you don't come. Alex comes with it, you don't come. And he was like, if you don't want to go, I totally understand that. But he was like, I'm not going to, you know, sit there and you can explain it to her, like, you know, whatever, which is totally fair. And so, so Aaron was like, so Melissa was like, Aaron's feelings are kind of hurt that you don't ever go. And so I sat and I had this conversation with Melissa at the time about my social anxiety. I think this might have been before I was on YouTube. I don't know. It was around the time that I was on YouTube or started my vlog or something. It was in between there. I don't know. We ended up going and I had a great time. I had so much fun. Actually, I think this was, we went to the Halloween party last year, so it would have been the Halloween party the year before. So it would have been 2 years ago. And, I actually ran into this, I say girl, but she's my age. This girl that I used to work with, that we were like really, really close, and I still talk to her. And so she and Aaron are real close, and she was there, and we ended up like hanging out the whole night. She was at the party this year too. But anyway, I had a great time. But I had to start going to more and more social events to make myself comfortable doing it. And I still, to this day, in going to something social, which this is something I think in going through this, like I think afterwards, like I'll look at it in a completely different way. Like, you know what? These are opportunities to have fun. Like, do I have my lights on? Why do I have my lights? No, I don't. You know, instead of looking at them with trepidation and fear. And so I think I won't do that in the future. I think in the future I'll be excited about those things, and I'll really, like, I have, like, over the last couple years really pushed myself to do those things, and I found that I really enjoy them once I go. But I remember talking to Melissa on the phone, and I said, you know, like, I think I need to explain to you about the social anxiety. I know that you, like, you don't feel comfortable when you go places. I said, no, Melissa, like, I don't think you really understand how bad it is. And I remember I had this conversation with her on the phone, and she was so nice, and she was so kind, and like she really got it. And she was like, sweetie, don't you think that you could explain that to Aaron? And I did, and Aaron was so nice about the whole thing. And I can't remember now in retrospect, but I think we got there early or something, because there are some things that I can do that definitely help the situation of me feeling like the social anxiety. Like if I show up, if I'm like one of the first people there, like if I'm the, like there before the party starts, that's real helpful to me, because I'm there and then everybody comes in. Like it's really hard for me to walk into a full room. Like that's hard for me. But I don't remember what we did that year, but we did some things that helped. You know, and Alex is just real supportive, so that helps. But I have found, like, the more honest I am about, like, what I'm going through in my life or what I'm struggling with, or issues that I have and things like that, you know, like, I don't have a lot of people that I'm close with, but I have enough that if I tell those people what I'm going through, they typically help me with the stuff in my life, and then it makes my life easier and more enjoyable, right? So everybody in my life knows about my OCD. The reason that I don't talk about it very often on here is because at the time that I'm going through it, like when I'm really struggling with it, which is crazy to me that right now, like it's not coming out all over the place. I mean, it's really like, it kind of baffles me that this is, and maybe it's because I've been working on it for so long, I don't know, but this is a prime example of like what's going on right now in the world. This is a prime example of when it would come out for me, but it's not, and I don't know why, you know? I mean, little bits here and there, but not like anything more noticeable than any, you know, other day or week. And so I do think that it has to do with the intensive work that I have. Somebody put in there that their husband had pretty severe OCD, because I would say my OCD is severe. That their husband had severe OCD too, but that had maintained it through working on it and not medicated like me. Now, I have no issues with people that are medicated with it, and I think that had what I was doing not worked, I would have eventually tried that. I would have been open to trying that. Because it got to a point where it was, it just was really hard to get through every day. Like, I don't even really know how to explain it. It was literally like, it was blocking everything that I was doing. Like every 10 minutes it came out, like every 5 minutes it came out. It was almost unbearable to live that way. And so, you know, I would have been open to going and seeing a psychiatrist and, you know, being put on medication for that if that was what was suggested. I'm open to that kinds of stuff, but it didn't get to that point. So, you know, and I've learned a lot of techniques. So that was cool that somebody else said that their husband was the same way and had learned the techniques to work through it and stuff, but it's still hard, you know? So this is the reason why I think I don't talk about it much on here, is because when I'm going through it, and it's really, really tough, and I can tell you that in the 3+ years that I have vlogged, there have been times, there have been months that I've been going through it that it's really, really hard. That I didn't talk about it on here because I don't want to talk about it at that time. Like, it's not like I want to talk about it and, you know, bring attention to it and be like, oh, this is going on and blah, 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 whatever. Like, I don't, you know? And then when it's not going on, in all honesty, I don't really think about it. Like, because I'm, like, usually I'll, like, what happens is it'll kind of, like, just kind of go away. And then, like, I won't even really notice it until, like, a week later. And then I'll be like, oh, like, that's weird. Like, I haven't been doing this and this and this and this and this. But then I'm kind of like, because it goes into my head, like, I don't want to focus too much on it, because if I focus on it, then I'm afraid, like, okay, it's going to come back out and then I'm going to have to work on it again, blah, blah, blah. So I just kind of, like, let it go. So I don't really ever consciously think about thinking about it, because if it's going on, I don't want to talk about it. And if it isn't, then I don't think about talking about it. You know, unless I'm talking about, like, oh, like in a meeting, if it comes up, which it rarely ever does, you know, that somebody brings it up in a meeting. If I'm talking to, like, somebody else that has it or whatever, it'll come up. So the fact that I just kind of, like, threw it out in a vlog and then somebody was like, I'd like to hear you talk about it. You said you would talk about it. I was like, okay, this is a good time to talk about it because it's not going on right now. And somebody brought it to my attention. Had that person never said anything about it, I would never have talked about it on here. But I'm glad I did, because so many people commented it positively about it, wanting to hear, you know, the story. So I'm really, really glad. So whoever left that initial comment, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like, it was great to talk about that. So, and even if it just, like, helps one other person, I mean, like, that's my thing on this vlog, is whatever I'm going through in my life, I may find myself, like, what, okay, like, I was talking to my friend Valerie one night, and she said something about, this was recently, actually, and, so she watches all of my vlogs, and, you know, she's one of my best friends, so, somehow we were talking about, like, ADD and ADHD, and, I think it's, everybody knows, you know, that, like, you can tell a mile away that I have ADHD, right? And I said something, and she goes, I mean, do you watch your vlogs? And she just laughed. And I said, well, yeah, girl. Like, yeah, I mean, I know, right? Like, we were kind of laughing about it. And I said, but the reason, she was asking me why I chose not to take medication for it. And I said, well, I said, there are non-habit forming medications that you can take for, I just saw, like, the exhaust coming out of my car, and it freaked me out. I thought it was somebody driving around. I said, there are non-habit forming medications that you can take for ADHD, like Vyvanse and what's the other one? I can't think of what the other one is called. That had been suggested to me throughout the years. You know, as a person in recovery, and I do know people in recovery that take habit-forming medications for issues that they have, like ADHD, like Concerta, Adderall, things like that. And I don't shame them for that. That's their business, right? Like, and, you know, I actually had a psychiatrist explain it to me one time this way. He was like, when you are in recovery, if you have a medical condition like ADHD that has to be medicated with an amphetamine, that doesn't mean that you're relapsing or abusing. And this is just what somebody told me, okay? I'm not saying this is expert opinion, I'm just saying this is what somebody told me. That if you medically need that medication, that would not be considered, and this was somebody that also knew a lot about addiction, that would not be considered a relapse, right? Because you medically need that, right? So I do know people that are sober, that are in recovery, that take Ritalin, Adderall, Concerta, things like that. I personally have learned ways, because I've read a lot of books about it, that I don't feel like I need to do that. And I know that my being all over the place probably drives other people crazy, but like, it doesn't drive me crazy. And it doesn't drive my husband crazy, and it doesn't drive my best friend crazy, or my friends, my close friends and family. So it's not something that I feel like, I feel like it's manageable for me. And, as far as my sobriety, I am a Puritan, and I don't take like anything over the counter that's habit forming. I don't take anything that's prescription that's habit forming. I was always taught that if I had to, like if I had to have surgery or something, that there are ways to do that. Like if I had to have surgery where I had to have pain medication or whatever, and I required pain medication, I would take pain medication, and I would not see it as a relapse. But what I would do is, this is what I was taught. Like, I would have Alex pick up the prescription, and I would have him dole it out to me as prescribed, and then when I didn't need it anymore, I would have him get rid of it. And that's what I was told to do in sobriety. And that, in 25 years, that has never happened, that I've had to do that. And it may never, but if it did, that, you know, that's what I would do. And I have friends of mine that have had to do that, and it's worked for them. And that's not like a rule of recovery. That's just like a suggestion that people have said, you know? But yeah, like, I know people that, are on medication for having, like, you know, pretty severe ADHD. The other thing is, I've like learned tactics to make it an asset for me. Like, I know it probably doesn't seem like this on here, and I know to most people that just like watch a video of me, like, it seems like I get distracted very easily, which is so true. And I remember my mom had this book years and years and years ago, and it was called Driven to Distraction, and it just was me to a T. And so I know, like, for other people, like, sometimes it's like too much to watch, right? But in a weird way, it makes sense to me. Like, it makes a lot of sense to me, like the way that my mind thinks. I multitask like nobody's business. I get so much done on a daily basis. Like, people really have no idea how much I get done. And, you know, because there's things that I do that I don't talk about on my vlog. And it really works for me. And I've learned to use it as a strength to some degree, you know? And I've learned to accept that it's how my mind thinks and how my mind works. And I think to some degree, like, if today that was turned off, like, I don't know that I would know how to, like, go forward, if that makes sense. Like, I'm so used to it now. I've been doing it for so long, you know? And I do remember when I got sober, when I was, you know, 22 and a half when I got sober. So this would have been, well, 22 and a half to 23 and a half, seeing a counselor at that time. You know, we talked a lot about, like, the difference between adolescent and adult ADHD and how it switches. And possibly, for some people, it switches. And he was talking about, like, if you looked at how I was in high school, I was definitely more like ADD. Like, I was more like daydreamy, and there were certain things that I would focus on that I was interested in. But then, like, it was really hard for me just to, like, focus. But I wasn't like how you see me on here, like, I was not like that, like, in high school. But then as I became an adult, and especially as I got sober, like, it switched. And I think that happens with a lot of people, he told me. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I remember he and I talked about that, my counselor that I saw at the time. And it could have also had something to do with me getting sober, you know? I saw this like light going off in the distance, and it was like me going like, it was like light on, light off, light on, light off. Oh, you guys, I shouldn't say this because I want to keep it a secret on my review channel, but I bought a clapper. You know, clap on, clap off, clap off, clap off, the clapper. You know that thing? Clap on, clap off, the clapper. I bought that thing for clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper. Clap on, clap off, clap on, the clapper. I don't know how it goes, but anyway, I bought that thing to review on my review channel. It came. Our Amazon stuff is coming rather quickly. Now, today's may have come because they consider it like, I heard that they're only shipping like essential stuff, which it doesn't say when you get on Amazon and order stuff, so I don't know. Now, I do know, like, I ordered, well, what did I order? Because I ordered 2 books, 2 graphic novels, because I want to read some graphic novels, and, I ordered something else. I can't remember what it was. 2 graphic novels and something else. But anyway, the dog food came today. I got like another thing of dog food. And then the dog treats came today. And the aloe vera that I had ordered. And when I just ordered that like, what, 2 days ago? A day ago? Something like that. So I was really surprised that came today. They probably have it in the Indiana warehouse or something, you know what I mean? And then I think that I'm supposed to get a package. Where is it? Clap on, clap off, the clapper. Where is it? In theater movies, at home, introducing Onward, The Invisible Man, and Emma, available to rent or buy. I noticed that they were doing that. With my new iPad, I got Apple TV for a year too, which is kind of cool. Which is this order? 3 items on the way. Shipment total. Oh, that must have been, oh, wait. What's the order? One order will be here Monday. I wonder if this must be... Oh no, it says that my other orders are coming tomorrow. So I guess I'm getting more orders tomorrow. I think that's it. I think that's all I ordered. What is this? Try a free Audible. I already have Audible. I spend so much money. Oh, but I do want to say this. So people were saying that you could... Oh, it's going to stop. Hold on. Okay. People were saying that you could get free Audible books right now. And so, of course, I got on there because I was like, what is this? Free Audible books? And when I got on there, it's not... I don't see where you can get free Audible books, but what they are doing is for kids. And it says social distancing, meet kids free listening. Social distancing, meet kids free listening. As long as schools are out, we're hosting a free selection of stories handpicked by our editors for kids of all age at stories.audible.com. Stories that entertain and help young minds stay active, open, and engaged. All free, no signups, no commitments. Just explore and start listening. It's that easy. Now, you can't download them. I couldn't really figure it out. You can't download them, but it has a really great selection. So let me see some of these on here. So, it has Anna Green Gables, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I wanted to read you some of these. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, because some of these are really good. It has literary classics, Brave New World, The Call of the Wild, Jane Eyre, Frankenstein, Atlas Shrugged is on here, Roots, Moby Dick, The Call of the Wild, My Antonio, The Jungle Book, Romeo and Juliet. I mean, I thought this would be like a good way for families to listen to each other together too. It has them in French, it has them in German, it has them in Spanish, it has them in Italian, and it has them in Japanese. These, so, there's like really, really, really good ones on here. What teen ones does it have on here? Anything that I know? Let's see. None of these books look familiar to me, no. But I think that's a good way, you know. Now, I don't know really how it works. I think it has Winnie the Pooh on here. It has Beatrix Potter, Timeless Tales of Beatrix Potter. So if you have kids at home, you could just do that and listen to it every night and listen to a little bit of it. I think it's great. I think it's great that they're doing that on here. Oh, they have Ricky Tikki Tavi. Oh, I used to, by Rudyard Kipling. I used to love that cartoon when I was a kid. I don't know why. So anyway, I might listen to one of these. I don't know which one. I'd like to listen to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or Anne of Green Gables. I loved that back in the day. How do you do this? Let's see. Anne of Green Gables is 9 hours and 22 minutes. How do you listen to it? Do you just... I don't really know how this works, I guess. Start listening here. Let's push it and see. Oh, it starts right there from your book.
Audible Studios presents.
But how do you, like, get out of it then? I guess you just have to keep that tab open always or something. I don't know. Interesting, isn't it? But I think that's cool that they're doing that. Don't you think that's nice that they're doing that? Oh. First of all, can I just tell you that I am like drinking one Diet Coke a day. Pretty much one Diet Coke. And it's when I get out to this car, and I crave a Diet Coke all day long until I get out to this car. And then I drink my Diet Coke when I'm sitting in this car. I know it's so weird. It's going to be so weird to go back to like driving. Which so many of you are like, why don't you just go and drive around? You know, like it's whatever. I know, but a lot of people are like, you shouldn't be driving around. So I have no problem just sitting in this driveway. But it's going to be weird when I go back to like driving around in my vlog. Like that's going to be so strange. I kind of enjoy just kind of like sitting here and like, I don't know, it's nice. But I wanted to look at the weather because I'm so over this cold weather. I'm like, can we get a 65-degree day? Oh, and let me just tell you that half of my friends live in Florida. And so on their Instagrams, they're like, oh, sitting by the pool today. And they're like, you know, they have like a private pool at their house or whatever. And I'm like, really? Really? They're like, oh, catching some rays since we're stuck at home. And I'm like, God, I wish that was me. Okay, what did I do here? Daily, let's see. I don't know what I did. I did something screwed up to the weather thing. Here, let me pull it up again. The Weather Channel. Daily. Oh, great. It's going to be 47 today. Oh, 47, 50, 58, 61, 56, 59, 50, 53, 54, 58, 59, 58, 58, 58, 59. Oh my God, it looks like the cold weather is over. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, so it looks like today is going to be the coldest day. And then after today, we're done with it for a while. It's so weird looking at this thing. I just looked at Thursday and it said 61 and I thought, God, Thursday's going to be here before we know it. I need to sit down tomorrow and I need to make a list of all the things I want to get done. And then every day, just make myself do one of those things so I feel real productive. You know, like I know Alex wants to clean out the garage and the basement. Like those are the two big things, which the basement has been a long time coming, so I agree with both of those things. But I didn't really want to do the garage when it was cold outside because it's cold in the garage, so it's like hard to get to that stuff. Because he's gonna have to pull his car out and stuff for me to like be over there working on it because it's like all one whole side where I have all this kind of stuff. It's gonna be interesting like what I find. I'm gonna have like a lot of stuff over there that I've had there since like I very first started YouTube. It's like just kind of piled up on stuff. All my book stuff is over there too. I might find I have a couple copies of my book left. If I have a couple copies of my book left, I may send out you know, I haven't checked with the post office yet to see if I can get my post office stuff sent over here. I don't know. I mean, the post office is still open. I guess what I'll do is just go to the post office if I have to, like one day a week when I go to the grocery store or something. But, what was I gonna say? But if I find some books in there, I guess I could send some books to a couple people out there. But now that I'm reading it on my BookTube channel, you can just go over there and read it. So I'd like to kind of like make a list of things that I want to get done. But I have like today, I worked like a long time on my videos. Yesterday, I worked a long time on my videos. And the first day that I was working on my videos, like that Alex was home, like he cleaned a lot. But yesterday and today he didn't. And I'm kind of like, I mean, we did a little bit yesterday, but not a whole lot. And now I'm kind of like, I would just like to have a day where, like, I'd like to kind of pre-film maybe videos for a day so that he and I can just like hang out together for a whole day. I also thought it would be, I was thinking about this tonight when I was getting ready to vlog, that we could make like a real nice dinner one night. And we could get dressed up real cute and we could have a date at home. I thought that would be real cute. I mean, depending on how long we're gonna be here, we could maybe have like a little date on the patio if it gets warmer outside, you know, or whatever. But we could have a date here and light the candles and do all that, you know what I mean? And have a little date night and, as if we're going out to, you know, some restaurant or something. We could do that here and have a little romantical evening. I think there's a lot of ways to get creative. You know, when I was growing up, my mom was so fantastic with this stuff, of being the mother of an only child. And I can remember like later she would say to me, I mean, she'd be like, Peter, I had to come up with stuff because number one, when you were young, we were really poor. And she was like, so we didn't have money to buy like a ton of toys and things like that. And I would say, well, what would you do? And she would say, Peter, she was like, there is nothing like, she's like, food coloring has saved the world. And I would say, what do you mean? And she'd say, well, we would do stuff like, you know, she was like, I could give you a bubble bath and then, you know, like put different colors in there. She was like, I would freeze ice cubes with different colors, things. And then she's like, you know, I would put like certain things like, you know, in there. Like you could put like a penny in one and then it would like float around and melt. And then you like pick the penny out of the bathtub. But, you know, the ice, the different colored ice would give you stuff to play with in the bathtub. And she was like, you know, but we would do like sugar cookie. We could make your own frosting. My mom had this book. I'll just show it. It's a really cool book. It's still down in the basement. Well, first of all, she had that, what's that called? That catalog of Mother Earth. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Let me see if I can find it. Catalog of Mother Earth. It has the Earth on it. This big Earth. Images. Is that what it's called? Oh, I don't see it on here. Maybe it was Mother Earth catalog? But anyway, it had like all these instructions in there, like how to make Play-Doh from home and Mother Earth catalog. I think it was called something like that, Mother Earth. Oh, there it is. The Last Whole Earth catalog. This is what it looked like. Can you see? And it's big. It's like this big. And I have one in the basement. Oh my God, these are used on eBay, going for $260, $87, $120. I should sell that thing. Anyway, it was very cool. It had like different recipes for stuff, and it had like home remedies, how to make your own Play-Doh. So my mom would use that, but she also had this thing that she bought like at some like parents fair or something. And I remember it had like this, you know, what do you call it? This, you know, like a spiral notebook that's at the top, but it was like the big plastic things. And it was like homemade. But it had all these really cool things in there. I'll have to bring it out and show it to you guys. It had these cool things in there that were like, it was like all this stuff to do with your kids that was like cheap, right? And it was like how to make your own like frosting for cookies and like out of like water and like food coloring, and you can make all different colors, and it was all this different kind of stuff that you could do with kids that was super cheap. And my mom did all of it. I mean, I look at that stuff in there and it's like I remember doing that stuff like as a kid. And my mom was super, super creative. I mean, super creative when I was a kid about doing stuff. So I think it's just about like, you know, even just having like a movie night. Like my mom, this is one of the things that my mom used to do when I was growing up. My mom, even like when I was like in junior high and high school, she didn't like to spend a lot of money. My mom never liked to spend a lot of money. She just was clearance all the way. And, which I can remember kind of like embarrassed me at times with my mom, because like I'd have a friend over and like I'd go to friends' houses and they would like order pizza, and at my mom's house it was like, I mean later she would order pizza but very rarely. It would be like a Tombstone pizza and stuff like that. And but she just like, you know, saved her money. She just didn't spend a lot of money. But anyway, so when I was in like, I would say elementary and junior high, early junior high, more elementary though, my mom would do this thing where we would have like a movie night, or we would watch like, because the shows that my mom and I watched back in the day was, we would watch like Love Boat, Fantasy Island, that was Saturday nights, and Sammy Terry, that was on at like midnight in local Indiana, and he was this guy that had like these spiders, and you can look him up. And oh, I should show you a picture of him since my camera's kind of like showing some pictures tonight. But anyway, Sammy Terry dressed up kind of like Dracula, and he would show like old movies, and we would watch that, and the Newlywed Game. Sammy Terry. So here he is. Can you see him? I don't know if you can see him. That's Sammy Terry. And he would like host this show, what was on Channel 4, and which was like local access television, and he would have like spiders like hanging from the ceiling, and he would do like The Blob. It would be like a movie like The Blob or something like that, and we would watch that. That was always on at like midnight or 12:30 or something like that. It was after the Newlywed Game. And we watched all of those shows, and so, but we would have like movie nights, and my mom would go and she would buy like probably on sale candy, like Snicker bars and stuff on sale. And then she would buy, although I will tell you that there was this candy store in Carmel where I grew up, and it was called the Sweet Tooth. And it was just like this real cute little candy shop, and you would go in there. And my mom would say to me, like, you can get one thing that you want. And I can remember I always wanted to get like, you know, like the huge gobstopper things or whatever, those gums that you can't ever chew, or like those things that are like spiral, like, you know, lollipops I'm talking about, that are like real long, stuff like the big ones that are like circle. I always wanted that, like something that looked like I was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But at the counter they would always have these caramels. My mother loved caramels like nobody's business. My mother could just live on candy and ice cream, I swear. And so she would always get one of these big caramels. She loved them. I think we went there more for her than we did for me. But then at Halloween, my mom would always get one of those huge bags. Two things that my mom would buy. Well, she would buy candy for the neighbors and stuff, or the trick-or-treaters. But for my mom's self, she would always buy this and buy extras of it. The big gum. Do you remember the gum that came in like the little twist ties? My mom loved that gum, number one. Number two, do you remember the caramels that come in little squares that you make caramel apples or caramel apples out of? I say caramel, everybody says caramel, and then they get upset about it. But you know I'm talking about, the caramel apples. So my mom, she would get those, but like she would keep them for herself. Like I can remember her keeping them and putting them in the towel drawer, because that was like where she like ate. She had her carton of cigarettes and she had her caramels in there. I mean, not that I couldn't eat one if I wanted one, but those were my mom's. God. I can remember coming home from school and I would sit there and have like a glass of milk or a glass of orange juice. I still love orange juice so much to this day, with a lot of pulp in it. And I would eat peanut butter and saltines, or graham crackers and white frosting. It's no surprise I'm a large Marge today. I love to eat. Anyway. But my mom would buy all this candy, and then she would like have it like laid out on the counter. Like not tons, but like, you know, a thing of Junior Mints, because my grandma used to always love. My grandma loved Snow Caps and Junior Mints, and I still love Snow Caps and Junior Mints to this day. I actually, the last time that I went to Meijer, when Tanya and I went, did I go with Tanya or did I go by myself? I can't remember, but it was when I bought all the stuff because I didn't think I'd be able to go out. I bought like 4 boxes of Junior Mints in case we're having like a movie night. I thought like Alex and I could. Is there somebody coming down my street? I thought we could have a movie night, and somebody is coming down my street. And I would have candy, because he has a bunch of candy in there too. So anyway, and my mom would like lay it out like we were at the concession stand, and then she would like pop a bunch of popcorn, and she would put it in like, you know, those little brown like paper bags that you like took to school, like for your school lunch. And then she would have like cups, like 2 cups filled with like crushed ice that she would crush in like, she had like this Cuisinart thing that would make like really like fine ice. And she would crush up the ice, and then she would like give, it would say like 50 cents for a candy bar, and then it would say like $1, and then she would give me like fake, you know, Monopoly money or real money, I don't know, whatever. And then I had to go through the line, and I could buy what I wanted to buy at the concession stand. It was so much fun. I don't know why, it was something like that. That just sounds so simple and so stupid. But like, we would like be in a movie, and then my mom would pause it and be like, okay, and this would be because she probably needed a cigarette break. But she would say, okay, we need to go to the concession stand, let's take a break, there's an intermission at the movie. So we would go back to the concession stand, and I'd get more candy. It was so much fun. It was just stuff like that that my mom did that was so much fun. I remember my mom, like when it would like really, really thunderstorm outside, my mom and I would go outside and we would wash our hair in the rain. I can remember like in the summer when we would get like horrible, horrible thunderstorms, my mom would say, okay, let's go. Like if it was like in the middle of the, you know, the early evening, like 6 or something, we would go outside and we put our bathing suits on, and we would wash and like shampoo and condition our hair in the rain. It was so much fun. Remember that. I think when you're the parent of an only child, it's almost kind of like you have this friend, you know, that like this, like the sidekick that was born to you almost, because that's how it felt like with my mom. My dad and I too, like my dad and I, you know, like I was my dad's little buddy for so long, you know, when I was growing up, that like, you know, when I was with him I was with my dad a lot. Like my parents did such a good job of like allowing me to be at both sides. Like they never, I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for that. They never fought over what holiday I was where. They never fought like, well, basically my dad said any of the major holidays you need to be with your mom because it would kill her anyway if you weren't with her, and he didn't really care. He was like, I don't really care. So he'd be like, you need to be with your mom for Christmas and Easter and things like that. But, well, actually, Easter's as I got older, I was with my dad sometimes, because we would go, or was it Thanksgiving? I can never remember. We would go to Florida to visit his brother-in-law, or not his brother-in-law, his fraternity brother. It was Thanksgiving that we would go there because, my dad's fraternity brother, who's like his best friend in life, who passed away a couple years ago, well, God, now it's been like 10 years ago, but his wife's sister drove an Excalibur for the Macy's Day Parade, and we would always get up and watch it before we went to the beach. But my parents never fought over that stuff, and so like if my mom wanted to like go out with her girlfriends for a weekend or something like that, you know, my dad would be like, yeah, I'll come pick him up, no problem. Or if my dad was on like call and like, but like when my dad was on call, it didn't affect him like as far as having me, because I would just go with him. I can literally remember like being with my dad and, you know, like my dad like waking me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and being like, come on, Pete, we got to go to the hospital. And he would like get me up and he would like, you know, dress me and like put me in a big coat and we would go to the hospital. And I can remember I would sit in the doctor's lounge and I would sit there and he would put cartoons or something on for me or some TV. And I would sit there and I would, you know, make hot chocolate or tea or something, and I would drink. They always had donuts. They always had tons and tons of donuts, and I would sit there and eat donuts. And I can remember I really liked, this is so funny because I don't like these today. I really liked the powdered donuts with jelly inside of it, and I also liked the big like bear claws, which I still love to this day. But yeah, I would go to the hospital a lot with my dad. But it's a different environment now, you know, like I can remember when I was growing up with my dad, like, you know, he would have to be like in the emergency room. So I would like be sitting talking to like one of the nurses or something. This is like when I was like 8 or 9. And, you know, I'd be sitting like right there and whatever, like on a Saturday night. And a couple times like we were there so long that, because like my dad would have to, you know, then like if he was on call, like if other cases were coming in, we would just like stay. And so I would like sleep in the back, and they would have like, you know, like kids pajamas and stuff that they would like give me, and I would just like sleep in the kids pajamas. And I remember, I think that's how it started, that like with my dad, like when he was on call, like on a Friday, we would go to, both of my parents love to read. My dad reads all nonfiction. He's read some fiction like because of college and stuff like that, but he doesn't enjoy fiction at all. My dad is one of the most well-read people I've ever met in my entire life on the most bizarre topics that you would never care to know about. And he and Alex just get together and they just love to talk about stuff that you could care less about knowing about. My dad will find a topic, and let's say if the topic is something like, just pick something random, like, I don't know, like, I mean, it has to be kind of like, it has to be interesting, but kind of like from like a bizarre kind of thing, you know? I think my interest in true crime is very similar to my dad's interest in other things. So he would find out something like, like the history of something. But like the history of like, I don't know, like a stoplight. And then he would go in and he would read like 5 books on it. He could tell you everything about stoplights in the United States, stoplights in other countries. Oh my God, the battery's it just started flashing, the battery. And we're at 22.5 minutes, which means it's gonna stop at 23.5 minutes. So I'm just gonna let it go to the end. Oh, did I not bring my battery out here? Oh yes, I did, here it is. I have another battery with me. So I'm gonna let it go to the end of 23.5 minutes. But my dad would, he reads all this kind of stuff on just a lot of language stuff, a lot of like on the language that we use and things like that. He also reads a lot of like autobiographies. He loves to read autobiographies about people that like, that he's just really interested in. Also people that he doesn't like. He reads a lot of autobiographies to try to like find, or biographies to try to find out more about them. More like political situation kind of stuff, like past political situations. He can tell you anything historical that's ever happened. So my dad was a political science pre-law major when he was in college before. So like vast knowledge of like anything, like all the president. It's gonna stop. This has not happened in a while. I feel like it maybe happened like a month ago when I noticed it, but it hasn't happened since I had my Sony Alpha 5000 camera. This camera is so hot right now, you guys. Like, it is burning up. But anyway, my dad can tell you anything about like past presidents. Like, he's real into like, like the first 10 presidents that we ever had. Like, he's really, really interested in like all of that, and like how the political system was set up in our country, and he just like, he reads all that history stuff. Like, he loves all that stuff. He's very into all of that. But anyway, and also like world governments. Like, he's not just interested in just like the US government, he's interested in like world governments. That's what he and Alex talk a lot about, which is always like so boring to me. I know you wouldn't think, but my husband is actually really interested in that kind of stuff too. So, but anyway, my parents like never argued over like, who I was going to spend time with. They always communicated very well when it came to things with me. Later in my life, like my high school years, I kind of wished maybe they wouldn't be on such, same page about stuff, but they really did. And I think in retrospect, I'm so thankful for that, that they never argued about parenting me. They were always on the same page. Like, I don't even know how, like, there were two people that at one point, were very, very much in love. Like my dad has said to me, like, we were so in love that we fell out of love, and then it was like the passion was gone, but they had a real mutual respect for each other. I will say that. Like, my dad was always like, if I ever would bad talk my mom, he would always say, you don't ever speak about your mom that way. Never. Like, she raises you, she takes care of you. Like, that is your mother. You don't talk about her that way. And my mom was the same way with my dad. If I ever say anything about my dad, my mom would be like, your dad works very, very hard for you. He is a great father. Like, he comes and sees you. He takes care of you. He cancels, meetings to be for every one of your school things, blah, 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 whatever. So she was always like, you don't ever speak poorly of your father. And she wouldn't let me speak poorly of my stepmother either, ever. If I ever said anything about my stepmother, she was like, you don't speak that way about your stepmother. She was like, she's been awesome to you as far as stepmothers go. So you could have it 100 times worse. So quit complaining. She would never let me talk bad about my stepmother. But my mom and my stepmother, actually, I wouldn't say that they were friends, but they talked a lot about, especially like when I was like in high school before I could drive, but even when I could drive, about like grades, and because my dad was so busy with work that like my stepmom would be the one that would communicate it to him a lot of times, like, okay, Peter's off these days, or like how to go from here to there, or whatever, like what weekend am I going to be where, like they would arrange. My mom and my stepmom arranged a lot of that and talked. So little interesting side note, it was actually my stepmom that got my mom to go into the hospital. I don't want to get emotional tonight, but my mom was real resistant to going to the hospital the last time because she had been in twice before, and they kept on releasing her. I don't know if I've fully told this story, but they kept on releasing her because of dehydration. They said that she had dehydration, which is really weird because the first hospital that she went to, which is not in the hospital system that my dad was at. So my dad wanted my mom to be in a hospital system where he worked, so that because he wasn't having anything to do with the case, but that way he could communicate to me what was going on, right? But the first hospital that she went to actually diagnosed my mother with Wegener's vasculitis granulomatosis, which is what she had. And for most people, somebody recently reached out to me, this was so interesting, and said that we don't call it that anymore. That we call it... Oh, shoot. I can't remember what they said they called it, but we don't call it that anymore. We don't call it Wegener's because Wegener's, the guy that they named it after, supposedly was a doctor in the Holocaust. So we don't call it that anymore, which I need to look into that. That was interesting to me. But anyway, that's what she had. I don't know what you would call it today. But by the time, there's a lot of people that live with it, and they live with it, and it's not fatal for many, many years. But by the time that they found out what was with my mom, it had like gone through every system in her body. So it was just, at that point, she died of kidney failure because it mostly affected her kidneys. But anyway, so she had been released, which is why it looked like she was dehydrated, because it was actually kidney failure that she was in. She passed out. My aunt found her. She called my dad. My dad came over here. He got her. He drove her to the hospital. By then, she was like lucid and got her in a wheelchair and like was bringing her in. And she was real resistant. It was like my aunt, my uncle, my dad, and there was like, like an ER doctor out there and stuff. And like, she was like, I'm not going back in there. And my mom was like, I've been here twice. I'm not going back in. And she was like really like not well. And I showed up and was there because my dad texted me like immediately when he was at the house. He was like, you have to come to the hospital because your mom's been like, we had to rush her over here. He like carried her over his shoulder like out of the house and stuff. I mean, just think about this. Like, I mean, I think about that sometimes, that like I feel so blessed that like they didn't get along. They didn't love, I mean, I think they had a mutual love and respect for each other, but they weren't friends. They didn't like each other. What is this person doing over here? And then my dad, there he is, like, they got separated when I was 5 or 6, and, at the time I was 35, so 30 years later, my dad is still involved in my mom's life, carrying her out of her I mean, it just is, So anyway, we get to the hospital, and, I'm, like, standing there. I didn't really know what to say. I just was kind of like, Mom, you have to go in, like, what's going on? And she was like, I don't want to go back in. She's like, they don't know what's going on with me. They don't know what they're doing. I don't want to go back in. And I was like, Mom, I understand that it's like frustrating to you, but like, you're really sick. Like, you're 10 times sicker than you were like because she had been home for like 2 weeks and she wouldn't eat. She wouldn't drink anything. Like, we were like bringing her food, like, constantly every hour, and she'd like drink a little bit of water, like she had straws and stuff. She was so weak, and she'd drink a little bit of water, and then she'd say, I can't drink any more down. She couldn't keep anything down. She didn't want to drink any of it, or she couldn't, like, she just felt like, she said she felt like full all the time, like she wasn't thirsty or whatever, which I don't know if that's part of kidney failure. But so we're standing there. My stepmom comes to the door, and I'm like, oh God, this will be interesting, right? And she pulled me over, and I said, what's going on? She goes, she pulled me over, and she said, your mom looks bad. And I said, yeah, she's not doing good. And she goes, I have been driving around in circles. She had a stepfather too. And, so her parents got divorced when she was growing up. And so her mother and father were both step parents too. Did her dad get, no, her dad was never remarried. Her mom was a stepmother too. And so she called her mom. She said, I've been driving around, and I finally called my mom, and I said, I don't know what I should do. I don't know where my place is. Like, should I go in or should I not go in? And her mom said, like, you're a huge part of Peter's life. Like, you need to go in there, like, you know, and be supportive of him. So she came in, and so she told me that, and I said, well, I'm glad that you're here. Like she gave me a huge hug, and I said, well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. You know, no, like, this is your place. And so she walked over. My stepmom's like real tall. My mom's like real short. Or my mom was real short. And she like walked over, and my mom looked up at her, and my stepmom always is like very made up and just always looks very pretty. And my mom looked up at her, and she said, she was like, oh, she was like, what are you doing here? And she was like, you look so pretty. And she was like, so they like talked for a second, and my stepmom like leaned down, and she said, sweetie, look at your hand and look at mine. And my mom like looked at her hand, and then she like looked over at hers, and she looked up at her eyes, and she said, your hand is white. She said, you're really sick. You need to go in the hospital. She said, sweetie, she's like, you need to go in. And I'll never forget, I was standing right there. My mom looked up at me, and she said, well, if she said I need to go, I need to go. So let's go. And my stepmom wheeled her through. And if it wasn't because of my stepmom, my mom would never have gone into the hospital. Like, she would have had to have been taken in, you know, like when she finally was unconscious and didn't know what was going on. And, you know, the two most important women in my life, there they did. They walked in there together. You know, and I think about that sometimes, you know, that like, I feel so blessed. I hear stories from my friends all the time about how they fight with their exes. They fight with their exes. They hate the woman that their ex-husband's married to, and she's such a bitch, and if you knew, and all this kind of stuff, you know. And let me just tell you, there was not a whole lot of love lost between the three of those people, you know. Like, it wasn't like they liked each other always, you know. And I think my mom did a lot of things that really frustrated my dad and my stepmom, and likewise, you know, my dad and my stepmom did a lot of things that, you know, really, I think, hurt my mom probably, and she didn't understand and whatever, you know. But they were good people, and they were good people. Well, they are, my dad and my stepmom, you know, but my mom, and they were always able to get along for me. And I'm so thankful for that, you know. Like, I never suffered as a result of them not getting along. I can literally think of like 1 or 2 fights in my entire life that my parents had. Like, seriously, that I was like privy to. You know, and they kind of had rules about things too. Like, I never needed to know about money situations. Like, that was none of my business. You know, and to this day, I don't. Like, people are always baffled by this. They're like, you have no idea about, I'm like, no, it's none of my business. It's my dad's business, not mine, you know? And, but I never did. And, you know, like when I was a kid and I was growing up, like, they kept me a kid, and I didn't need to know about adult things. I didn't need to know the things. I just needed to know, like, you know, like once they were divorced, they explained that to me and all of that. But I had such great relationships, you know, with each parent growing up. Like, such, almost kind of like relationships I don't think I would have had with them had I not been an only child, had my parents not been divorced. I don't think I would have had the same relationships I had with them, you know. And I look back on that, and I almost feel like blessed that the situation was the way that it was. I had a relationship with my mom like I would never have had if, you know, my parents had stayed married and I had had 2 siblings or something, or even just 1 other sibling. And speaking of siblings, I just want to say this. Somebody commented on my booktube video today, and about the fact that, so in my book, Danny and Sam are identical twins, and Danny talks about how they used to trick their parents, and that like their parents wouldn't know like which twin was which and whatever. And somebody commented on the video, and they said it in a nice way, but they were like, there's actually been studies done that this is not true, and that like parents always know, blah, 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 based on this and based on that. I actually interviewed several parents of twins before I wrote my book. Of identical twins, like mistakenly identical twins. And every set that I talked to told me that there had been at least once or twice when their kids had tricked them and that they had no idea, and that there were times that they didn't even know either, that it was like sleight of hand, like they'd walk down like one and then walk up and whatever, and there was like little jokes that they played. But there had been like situations where that had happened and they really honestly did not know, you know, for that moment. But I actually interviewed parents for that. Like, I didn't just go into that and like write a book about twins that you know what I mean? Like, and part of it was because I had two friends of mine in high school that they were fraternal twins, but they looked very, very similar, but they were fraternal twins. They were like two of my best friends in high school. But yeah, I think I had a better relationship. I know I had a better relationship with my parents because of them, like having been, and I'm not encouraging divorce, obviously, but that was the situation that was handed to me. I definitely had a better relationship with my parents because I had individualized relationships with them that I wouldn't have had, you know, like otherwise I wouldn't have had that. So I don't know. My Diet Coke is almost gone and I'm dying for another Diet Coke. I actually like my other plastic glasses better. I was sitting here and I was thinking tonight, well, since I'm going to be doing these driveway vlogs, maybe I'll go and buy some more plastic cups. And then it like dawned on me, and I was like, or hit me, you know, like, you can't just go to Target to go get plastic cups anymore, you know what I mean? Like, I could get on Amazon or something. I actually thought about getting on like Williams-Sonoma, because I'm spending like, other than like the groceries that we have, which I bought, and now they're just like, okay, we have food. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going out to dinner, and I'm not driving around, so I'm saving a shit ton of money on gas. Ooh, Peter cuss. Oh my God, I never cuss over here. I'm saving a lot of money on gas, and you know, like, we would be in Miami right now. This would be our last night at Ultra. God. It seems so surreal to me. But I would be spending a lot of money in Miami because we'd be going out to eat every night. I would have bought clothes to go to Ultra. Alex isn't really talking about it, but I'm almost positive we're probably going to have to cancel our Vegas trip. I just can't imagine that everything's going to be reopened by the 15th of May. I think that's when the EDC is. Has EDC come out and said anything else? They probably haven't, because I looked the other day. But people are like wondering if they're going to cancel it. Melissa and I were talking about it, and I'm like, do you think, she said something about like, they'll probably wait till the very last minute. I'm like, why would they do that when, like, what did I see that they're thinking about canceling? I just saw this today, and I was like, it's like later in the year. It's like in the summer, and I thought, that's weird that they're waiting to cancel that, because it's like later in the year, you know? What was it that I saw? But like, Alex is like, oh yeah, they're not going to cancel EDC because the guy that, this Pascal guy said that he doesn't want to cancel it. And I understand that, but like, this is like, people are coming from all over the world. If you're going to give people their money back, or you're going to cancel it, or do whatever you're going to do, which I guess the tickets are real cheap, because Alex and his brother and cousin just got general admission tickets. But like, if you're going to cancel it, then could you just like let people maybe have, there's like nothing here. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about being canceled here. I can't see if it's EDC Las Vegas canceled. It says Electronic Daisy Carnival's 10th Las Vegas edition hasn't been postponed or canceled. This is from the Las Vegas Weekly. hasn't been postponed or canceled, but the chances of the festival taking place on its planned May 15th through 17th weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway certainly seem to be fading as the valley shuts down and events around the world push back amid the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah. Still scheduled for May. Why would you not just cancel it and give people a heads up now? It doesn't make any sense to me. There's a whole YouTube video and everything posted on it by Cotton Candy Raves. I don't know who that is. There hasn't been any updates in 6 days on this. So anyway, I don't know how comfortable, even if things are, I mean, it's going to change how we look at the whole world. I don't know how comfortable I'm going to be at that time, like getting on a plane, going to Las Vegas, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how comfortable I am feeling about that. I guess we'll just have to see. I don't know, but I think people have no idea what this is going to be like. I know the last of my... Rascal Flats. I know the last of my concerns is whether or not I'm going to a music festival right now. I can tell you that much. Thank God my allergy medicine came today, because my allergies are driving me nuts. Not that I wouldn't love to go to Vegas. I would, but I could care less right now. I'd rather know just so we could cancel our trip is what I would like to know. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. Do you guys like Rascal Flats? Oh, I said I was going to read some comments. Let me go in here and read a couple comments before I get off here, because it's getting, oh my God, I can't believe it. I don't know how long I've vlogged for. Guys, I'm getting more subscribers and people are watching. People are watching for longer. It's so nice. Thank you so much. Roberta said, love you so much, Peter. Seriously, don't know what I'd do without your videos. Thank you, Roberta. Sarah and Elizabeth both put blue hearts, and Elizabeth said, I love ya. Okay, anything where people talk about like what's going on in the world, I'm going to actually skip that comment just because I don't want to put any speculation out based on just like what people are saying. It doesn't mean I don't believe you. It just means that like for just this, because that's what YouTube is asking us to do, is not to do that. So RVCA Scorpion said, thank you for another great vlog, Peter. I'm not usually an emotional person, but I have found myself crying at the drop of a hat lately. It's such a strange new world right now, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to process everything for me. Please, everyone, stay safe and love one another. What a nice comment. Thank you. Books I Read said, hi Peter, I have been with your channels for a hot minute. After all this is over, I would love to meet you so you can sign your book for me. I found my copy off of eBay and they sent me two. I should share it on my channel again. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for sharing. Glad you're here. You helped me feel much better. Oh, that's so sweet. I can also mail like something for you guys to like put in the inside of it where I can like, you know what I mean? So you can like stick it to the book. Stick it to the book. Do it for the book. Chris said, I struggled a lot with anxiety. I listen to your vlogs every night and thank God for your existence. Oh my God, you guys are so nice to me. Your presence and your spirit, laying in bed with my earbuds in, 3 a.m. and so grateful for you. Maybe if I listened to my vlogs, I would fall asleep quicker. Do you think so? Anyway, Chris, thank you. I'm very thankful for you as well. Queen Mary Novel Writing put a blue heart. Hey! P.S. Ty said, you're always playing on my TV, so I'm bad at remembering to like and comment. I will do better. Thanks for being there. Oh, thank you. Okay. Erica said, I just got a census ad on your video. I got something in the mail from the census department, so that video might be coming soon. You Beauty gave me blue hearts. Inchberries, blue hearts, thank you. Kimberly said, hello from your fellow Hoosier. I am tired of all the rude people at Meijer and Kroger and just want all this to be over. Aww. Tink Mosey said, hey, Peter, check out Tiger King on Netflix. I'm going to have to watch this show. It's getting late tonight, but I'm going to watch it. Okay, Kathy said, love you, Peter. Thank you for being here for all of us. You guys are so sweet. There was one comment that I wanted to... Alex said, I miss seeing hugs from my best Judies, and when we also get fountain pops in Starbucks, at least I have snuggles and hugs from my husband and kiddos. I get teared up every time you say, if you haven't heard this today, I love you and you matter. Sometimes you just need to hear it. Right back at you, Peter, you're the best. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Alex. I'm missing those small things too. Like, I'm really, like, it's those small things. I talked about this on my Peterisms video today, you know, that like, when all this is said and done, I was talking about this a little bit tonight with the meetings, but when all this is said and done, the gratitude that I have for like the small things in my life that I'm able to do, like go get a cup of coffee, like at Starbucks, you know, or get a fountain pop with my best friend, or just, you know, like go someplace, like walk around a mall, you know what I mean? Or whatever, just like have a weekend at a hotel, you know, whatever, just anything that I can, you know, go out to dinner with my friends, like all of that stuff is like, I will never take that. I hope I will never take that for granted again, you know? To go to a concert, to hold somebody's hand in a meeting, like these small things that I took for granted, you know, to hug somebody and not be afraid. Hold on, it's gonna stop. Okay. I hope I never take those things for granted again, you know? All right. Okay, wait. Sophia's World said, I'm one of those newer full video watchers. Oh, thank you. I find myself looking forward to your videos and listen to you while I spend my late nights working at home. I also need to get out for a walk. I do too. I keep on saying I'm going to do that and I don't do it. DNH said, took Carrie's Three Ring Circus's suggestion to pick up the Christmas tree. Changed my mood tremendously. To pick up the Christmas tree? Carrie's Three Ring Circus. I don't know what that means. Is that a YouTube channel? Carrie's Three Ring Circus. I'm confused. It's not pulling anything up. Was that a comment in here? Maybe it's somebody put? I don't know anything about that. Let me know what you mean by that. I'm confused. Okay, Samantha said, thank you, Peter. Thank you for constantly providing a platform of hope and light during these unpredictable times. Your vlogs help so much. Thank you, Samantha. Asbury and Tiffany both put blue hearts. Tiffany put a little, I love that so much. Tiffany's been around for a long time. So is Asbury, I think. Tina said, blue hearts, newly subscribed to your vlog channel for probably a week now. I don't know, I can't remember, LOL. But hi, I already love your review and drama channel now. I love this one too. Thank you, Tina Marie. I really appreciate it and welcome aboard. So, okay, let's see. Mira said, digging the vlogs, my friend. Listening to you share and open up is like chilling around the fire with a good friend. Shine on, you are a light. Oh, thank you so much. Marcia said, I get my groceries delivered with Instacart. I'm gonna try that, actually. Okay, so here it is. Candace. Okay, here she's getting a little bossy. You get a little bossy in here, Candace. No, I'm joking. Candace said, about the iced coffee. I was troubled with the same thing. You can't even Google how to make iced coffee. Everyone just puts it over ice. Okay, that's so true. That is so true. So what I do is, I make a pot of coffee, put it in a pitcher, and chill it in the fridge. I'm able to pour it over ice and add creamer. It's so good. Is this gross? I don't know if that's how it should be done, but I like it. And then Blanca said, yes, it's literally how coffee shops make iced coffee, LOL, nothing strange about it. And Candace, this is where she gets bossy, and she said, Peter should try. He has a normal pot, I think. I will try it, Candace, I promise. I love you. Okay, here's Carrie's Three Ring Circus. She said, love you, with a blue heart. Candace, Carrie, what did you say about the Christmas tree? Okay. Blue hearts forever, that's sweet vintage Zoe. Life with Lisa said, I had to search Peter Monn to make sure I was still subscribed. Drama videos have not been showing up on my subscriptions and was still subscribed and way behind on videos. I don't know what is going on, but it's not just my channel. If you go look at any drama channels, like nobody's getting views right now. And I'm not really sure why our videos aren't showing up, especially to distract people from what's going on. Like I've gotten so many messages from people that are like, thank you so much for continuing your drama videos and making me laugh. It's distracting me. You would think that people would maybe want to be distracted from all of this stuff. I know I do. I know I'm going in and watching funny videos and stuff like that. Okay. This is Maricela said this to me, and this freaked me out. In the corner of your driver's window, I expect to see someone come out of the door, and oops, neighbor caught. Corner of my driver's window. It would have to be over here somewhere. LOL, I know it's late, but you never know, Michael Myers. Okay, thank you for that comment, Maricela. That scared the hell out of me. Evie said, I like the sound of hello, hello, hello. It brings me comfort in these trying times. Aw, hello, hello, hello. Evie. Okay, Photo Love Abs said, hi Peter, love your long vlogs. Today I went for an hour walk and it felt great to get out, especially now I'm not working because of all this. Then started raining. I walked by this part by Kings Island. I also got a iced matcha latte today for my reward from Dunkin', haha. Then went to Target and looked at the craziness of how empty the aisles were, and we can't even go out here and do all of that. Like, you're not supposed to be anywhere, but I'm glad that you can. But what I wanted to read in here said, it feels like the Hunger Games. Did you guys know that there's a new book coming out from the Hunger Games from Suzanne Collins? I almost pre-ordered it, but I pre-ordered 2 books last night on Audible. I don't remember what I pre-ordered, but 2 books. Stay safe. Photo Love Abs. Stay safe. Love you. Should keep me entertained while we are all and you are quarantined. Love you. Heather said, so glad you're getting more followers. You deserve it. I love to listen to you each day. Oh, thank you, Heather. Lisa gave a blue heart. Wait, here's another one from Photo Love Labs. I get how emotional it is. I have my moment too. It is a different world right now. Agreed. Sarah said, hope you're having a good weekend, Peter. I'm so glad you are making videos during this difficult time. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you, sweetie. I'm gonna keep on making videos. Y'all are helping me. Y'all really are. Okay, Megan said, I just bought French dip onion. I'm going through that stuff like crazy. Like, it's ridiculous at this point, okay? Just bought, I was thinking to myself, like, Subway, I'm gonna get to the point where I'm like, I can't even stomach this stuff anymore. Just bought French onion dip this afternoon. I have 3 bags of chips I still have to get into. There's a great sale at Jewel on Lay's, $1.88 a bag, but you need to buy 5. Wasn't hard. Somebody said ice setting is more concentrated and bold. You need hot water to make coffee. That was Amanda. Where is the one that I wanted to read? Mama Oz, who literally comments on every single one of my videos, she said, yellow packet is Splenda. My hubby, because I was asking, my hubby and I took a trip to our local grocery store. That's what I usually use, is Splenda at home. My hubby and I took a trip to our local grocery store early this morning, and I was so happy to find rice, dry beans, flour, sugar, butter, and hamburger. Then we came home and made breakfast and started Drain the Ocean on Disney+. I have no idea what that is. And then she goes in and talks about bullying. Mama Oz! Okay. Somebody said, Lisa said, turn the music up and have a dance party. I cleaned my garage out today. I am living the dream. LOL. I love the driveway vlogs. You need to move in with my husband, and you guys can have dance parties and clean. Okay, what is the one that I wanted to read? Jeez, this is so funny. A couple people are saying try Instacart. I'm gonna try that. Chris said, I love a good fountain pop moment with Peter. I love you. Dane said, I did body pump class in my basement today. You're much better than I am. Regina, I am really, really sorry for the loss of your father. I'm sending you prayers and some positive vibes. I can't even imagine right now going through this, how hard that's got to be. To just know that we're thinking of you. And so many people, this was so nice, people really commented really nice things underneath there too. You guys are always so supportive of people. Tired Mama said, my husband being home is driving me crazy. Twyler is irked said same. And then Lisa said, my hubby has been home for 3 weeks. I can totally relate to your comment. Just know you're not alone. And then Tired Mama said, it's been so bad. I work from home, so I have my own routine, you know. I'm still working, and he's bored and bugging me, which led to a severe wine-filled live stream. Okay, so that's what I was saying at the beginning of the vlog when I said my husband and I are finally finding our routine. Like, okay, I'm not used to, like, I have my routine. Okay, his routine is going to work and being at work during the day. Our routine on the weekends is, if he's not working, like on a Sunday, we go to brunch, he comes home, takes a nap, I work, okay? Then when he gets up from his nap, he watches 3 hours of TV. We get romantical and have some, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's our routine, okay? And then we might get dinner in the evenings, a couple nights a week, things like that. I'm not used to being like this with somebody all day long. But somehow today, like we laughed a lot today. We really got along, and like, but we've had to really talk through it. Like, there's been some times it's been a little tense and a little edgy, and I'll look at him and I'll be like, I do not want to fight. And he'll be like, no, I don't want to fight either, you know? But like, we're like on edge. Like, neither one of us, I mean, I think the whole world is feeling this way. I think the whole world is feeling on wedge, like on edge, you know? And it's like, okay, so then you're in close proximity with somebody that you love, not to mention our condo is small. Like, we do not have like a big place at all. So it's like the four of us, Alex and I and the dogs, you know? But like, I looked at him today and I said, there's nobody I would rather be, you know, cooped up in a house with than you, and I love you so much. And we had kind of just like a really sweet moment. And I think it's important to lean on each other too, you know, in those moments, and look at being grateful for, hey, we have husbands that we're at home with, you know what I mean? And I'm sure I'm driving him as crazy as he's driving me crazy, you know what I mean? And I think that goes along, that's just marriage anyway, right? But like, I'm so thankful for him through this. I can't even imagine going through this right now without him. So I'm so completely grateful for him for that. So, you know, we're gonna drive each other crazy. It's gonna be just part of this. I'd rather be at home and crazy with my husband than risking getting sick. I don't want to get sick, you know? Ela said, Peter, you really are the bright spot of my day. I always enjoy your videos, but now I need your videos. They are getting me through these anxiety-riddled days. I can't thank you enough. Oh, thank you so much. But I will say this, like, Alex and I sat down and we had a conversation, and I think this would be important for a lot of couples too. Like, and this is just, you know, goes back to our therapy that we had in our counseling. You know, we sat down and we talked and we said, okay, we're here together for the long haul, right? Like, we don't want to fight. Like, I was like, I don't want to fight. He was like, I don't want to fight. Like, we're like, okay, so what do we do? And we both agreed that, like, if we need some space, we just say to the other person, hey, listen, like, I need some space right now. Like, I need some time alone, you know, whatever. And, you know, just to be real honest with each other about, like, if we're tense or we're stressed out or we're feeling things or whatever, you know, just to be honest with the other person and say, hey, listen, like, I need like an hour to myself, you know? And I will say, like, Alex and I communicate so well today compared to how we did 5 years ago, that's not hard. But I think more than ever, especially with your kids as well, you're gonna have to just be real honest. You know, sit down, have a conversation as a family at dinner or something and say, listen, we need to start being honest with each other and saying, like, hey, listen, I need some private time. I need to go in the other room and call my good Judy and talk on the phone, you know, and whatever. And Alex and I have said that to each other. Like, you know, he's been FaceTiming his friends and, you know, sitting there and like having a glass of wine or whatever, and like, he needs that, you know, and I need to be able to like sit and talk to my friends and stuff too, or we're never gonna make this through it away. Today we were laughing and having a really good time together, and it was like, okay, it finally felt like we figured out our groove through this together, you know, so that's good. Not to say that we're not gonna have arguments and, you know, tension that's gonna flare up again. The importance is talking it through, you know, and saying, hey, listen, like, I love you, like, let's back up with what we're going through and we can, you know, work it through this. So okay, there was something I wanted to read on here. Somebody said, 8 books a month, I'm lucky. Who said this? Allison. 8 books a month, I'm lucky if I read 8 books a decade. LOL, you go, Peter. Sue said, thank you for your positive vlogs. You are our friend through YouTube. Aw, please stay with us, Blue Heart. Thank you. You guys are so nice. Charlotte said, long blogs always, but I'll take any, Peter. Just don't ever stop doing them. Love to you and Alex, Tucker, and Boo. Oh, thank you so much. And Anthea gave a blue heart. Ice cream castles in the air, said Cheryl with blue hearts. Robin, blue hearts, love you all. Don't forget the milk, said, I find your vlog so relaxing, Peter. Literally crack open a fountain pop with you and chill. Everything you talk about is so relatable. Love from Canada. Stay safe out there. Stay safe to you too. Sky said, always watch, never commented, but I always watch until the end. Consider you my internet uncle. Oh, that means so much to me, Sky. Thank you. Charlotte gave blue hearts. Coyote said, I don't know how I got Coyote out of that, but I hope it's right. I look forward to your videos each day on a normal basis, but now I especially look forward to them. Thank you for your commitment. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are so nice. Daphne said, thanks for being here with your vlogs. I have been so sad during this time. I work in a grocery store and have seen people at their very best, and yet, yes, at their very worst. I hope that time will pass quickly and this will be over soon. In the meantime, I will get up, put on my best face, and thank you for being out there for us. Thank you to anybody that is still working out there for us in grocery stores and convenience stores and hospitals and whatever else I'm forgetting, doctor's offices. There was one that I really wanted to read. Hold on, where is it? Tabitha said, she's been here forever too. Hey, Tabitha. She said, as long as you're healthy and happy and I can watch you for years to come, I don't mind the car being in the driveway. Stay safe. Diana said, hello, Peter, and thank you for putting out content. Oh, thank you. Danae said, hello from Greece. We are officially on lockdown. Stay safe. She said, thanks for uploading. Love you, Peter. Love you. Where is the one that I wanted to read? Melissa comments on here every day. I just have to say hi to Melissa. I'm not seeing her comments right now, but I know she does. So, hey, Melissa. Michelle said, hello, hello, hello. I'm a nurse from Massachusetts and just wanted, I'm like, Massachusetts? Because I'm like, MA is Massachusetts, yes. And just wanted to let you know how much I enjoy listening to you on your way to work every day. You always make me laugh during these stressful times. I hope everybody stays safe and remember to wash your hands. And then Diana said, I'm a nurse in Kentucky. And then Michelle said, take care of yourself, Diane. Don't forget to take care of yourself as nurses usually do. And Marcy said, thanks for all your hard work. See, you guys are so fantastic to each other in here. Why can't I not find this comment? Adriana! She said, I always make it to the very end, blue heart. I'm from San Jose, California, and things are nuts over here. But we will get through this, sending positive vibes together. We will get through this. Thank you. Okay, there was this comment. Somebody said, as soon as I say it, I'll find it. Somebody said that they heard me shout out their name because I was reading a comment and they, like, couldn't believe it. Veronica is new, so go give her some love. She said, I'm new here. Hello, everybody. I wish you all the best in these times. Love you, Peter, every day. I can't wait for your videos to come out. They are so unique, and it makes all my problems seem easier to handle. Thank you, Veronica. That's really sweet. And thank you for coming over here. I don't know where it was. There's Hassie. She's commented a lot too. Hey. She said, thanks, Peter, for posting. I need these in the AM while I'm getting ready for work. She's so sweet. I've got to find this comment now that I talked about it. Okay. Everybody's saying longer vlogs, most of them. Yeah, these are too long ago. Anyway, I got so tickled about it. Somebody said that they were like doing something, they were just like listening to my vlog in the background, and all of a sudden I like read their name. And they really liked it. Mona said, what you said in the end means more than anything. That's what I needed to hear. So, well, I guess I will close this now with that then, since Mona needs to hear it. And what I will say is, I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something enjoyable today. Take a break. You're at home, most of you. And if you have to work today, thank you for still working for us. I appreciate it. And, you know, do one thing for yourself today that will make yourself happy. Take a bath. Do things that if you're at home that you don't normally get to do, and that you always think to yourself, I'm in a rush, I'm always doing here, I'm going there, I'm doing this, I gotta take the kids here. Now you don't have those things to do, so do one of those things for yourself. Start something new. Start something you've been wanting to start for a while. Do one thing today that will make yourself proud when you look back on it, you know, down the road tomorrow or a year from now, or 6 years from now, or 60 years from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you do your daily positive affirmations, and you say to yourself, whatever they are for you, okay? You say, I love you, you are valuable, you matter, you are worthy of good things are coming your way, you are a good person, you are a good son, you are a good husband, you are a good friend, you are a good uncle, you are a good brother-in-law, you're a good son-in-law, you are talented, you are handsome, you are beautiful, you are funny. And today is going to be an amazing day. Today is going to be better than what we have had. And it's going to be a bright and cheerful day. You will be happy, joyous, and free all day today. And although it's hard to believe, 2020 is going to turn around and be your best year yet. And most importantly, I think I might just start doing those looking right in the camera instead. It feels a little bit more powerful. You matter. You matter. And you're going to be okay. And I'm saying this to you, not to me. You're going to be okay, and we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. We have to have hope. We have to have hope. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but we have to have hope. And when we don't, we have to be honest and just say, I don't have any today, and I don't know where to find it. And reach out to somebody and maybe get some hope from them, you know? Steal a little hope from somebody else that has it. Most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody, just one person today, and let them know how much you mean to them. And maybe think about somebody that doesn't have a lot of people in their life today, that it would mean a lot to them if they heard from you, and let them know how important they are to you in your life. And don't forget to practice random acts of kindness. But like I always say, most importantly, what is it? Don't tell anyone. Because then you feel it on the inside, and it's not for pats on the back. You've got to start learning to do things not for pats on the back, right? I'm practicing that. I'm trying to get better about that. And my husband said something, and he said, he was cleaning up something in the kitchen, and he said, good job, Alex. And I said, oh, okay. See, we all like validation, don't we? And it feels good for all of us. And I told him, I said, hey, I really appreciate what you're doing. It means a lot to me. And he just smiled. So, yeah. And, anyway, practice random acts of kindness, and like I said, don't tell anyone. And don't tell anyone. That's what the book said. Don't sweat the small stuff. Go over and check out my Peterisms. I've been keeping those up too. And is that it? I think that's it. If you made it this far, please give this video a big thumbs up, and comment in the comment section below. Stay connected. Let us know how you're doing, and make sure that you're still subscribed to this channel. Let your friends and family know. It would really mean a lot to me if you guys would, like, I don't know, put out a Facebook post or something and say, hey, if you guys are bored, this dude over here on YouTube got 5 channels, but one of his channels, he's talking for like an hour and a half every single day from his driveway, just talking about the world and what's going on in stories. And maybe we get some new people over here that have never watched before, and let them join the OG Wolf Pack. So anyway, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. I feel like I'm forgetting something tonight. Anyway, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.